This is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, this is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Whoa, whoa, This is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. Yeah. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad.
This is where the community is connected. 980 AM WDDO.
The views
expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Macon and Middle Georgia. It's time for Village Talks with Tia and LJ. Join them live every Wednesday from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. right here on the Glory 107.9 FM, 980 AM WDDO. Log on to the Glory 107.9 FM on Facebook or YouTube to become a part of the conversation. Let's go live into the studio for Village Talks with Tia and LJ.
Is your child struggling with reading, writing, learning loss, and a culturally irrelevant curriculum? Do you want your child to be outstanding at reading and writing and also take pride in their culture? Then you want Reading Revolution Online. Reading Revolution Online is a web-based reading support program. We serve scholars in grades K through 8, and through our innovative approach, we help them build reading confidence and cultural identity development, equipping them for success in school and life. They learn about Black heroes and sheroes through captioned videos, reading selections, and other activities. Reading Revolution Online is an experience for the whole family. Do it for the culture. Go to readingrevolution.org and get your membership today.
Hey, happy Wednesday.
Hey.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah. We are live with you all right now for Village Talks. We are Making the Middle Georgia's freshest new radio show and Godcast, bringing you conversations centered around culture and community right here from the 478 and beyond. I am your co-host, LJ. This is my beautiful co-host to the left.
Tia, peace and blessings, good people. How y'all doing?
Yeah, and every first Wednesday, we have a third co-host here with us for Capona, which is he'll explain to y'all what that is. But he's our mental health and cultural consultant, also a mental health expert and cultural consultant. Our brother Chuck Henderson. What's happening, sir? How you doing?
All right, pretty good. Blessed, glad to be here once again.
All right, real quick before we get into anything else, what does Capona mean? Kupona. What's that mean?
It's a West African, South Central West African language of the Bantu people. Kikongo word, which means to heal. And majority of us in the Atlantic slave trade come from that group of people. And, according to Dr. Wade Nobles, when you start to use your ancestral language, it resonates with your DNA and also promotes a sense of your perspective. Your language pretty much orchestrates your perspective. Language is very powerful. Dealing with your culture and how you view the world, So we like to use African terms, as Sawubona, Ubuntu. All these words are very powerful,
Right.
Resonate with your DNA. Something, this is real science. Ain't no spookism, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Dealing with this is really a higher forms of epigenetics, So that's why we like to use those terms and they, like I say, they frame your perspective on how you view things, but it means to heal. And it was something, as we were speaking earlier about mental health, the stigma behind mental health.
Right.
Mental health from an African-centered lens is no stigma to it. It's just like you eating. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
just a form of life. You know what I'm saying? But now it's become so stigmatized. People don't want to express how they feel, get bottled up, and then next thing you know, they explode.
Right.
So we like that's why, it's a blessing for you all to have this space so that we can talk about mental health and understand the components of mental health so that we can move in a positive fashion and heal ourselves and our community and our nation as a whole.
Right. No doubt, brother. Yeah, we are today, we definitely want to, for one, how do we feel today? How you feel today, T?
I feel great, everybody. I feel real good, healthy. I'm not as tired as I've been. I know everybody know this baby is growing. So I've been dealing with some fatigue, but I feel amazing. Couldn't feel better.
That's
Blessed.
awesome. That's awesome.
How you feeling?
I feel outstanding. I feel good. I feel good. Yeah. Today's a good day, just like every day. We here, we blessed. Yeah, man. So, yeah, I'm ready to get into some conversation. Normally, y'all, we've been having featured guests like every week. For the next couple of weeks, we want to give some of our time back to our village, to our listeners. So, once again, if you haven't seen it on the screen every week, or if you haven't been hearing it from us, or if you're not a regular caller, we need you to call in. Call in at 478-250-1444. Again, the number's on the screen if you're online with us. That is 478-250-1444. So today's a kind of, you want to tell what we're talking about there? We have an accountability check.
We do have accountability check, and also what's happening. The accountability check question today is happiness a choice? Is happiness a choice? Are you choosing your happiness, or are you allowing others to dictate it? So we would love to hear from y'all. Again, the phone number is 478-250-1444. Also, if you're tuning in with us on YouTube or on The Glory on Facebook, please leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Again, the accountability check question is happiness a choice? Y'all want to give y'all thoughts on that question before we get into what's happening?
Uh-uh. We don't want to start talking stuff. We need to hear from everybody
We
else.
need to hear from y'all, folks. So, Village family, be sure to tune in. Again, the phone number 478-250-1444. Make sure y'all are connected with us so we can get that accountability check question answered. In the meantime, I want to give y'all a couple of events that are happening right here in Macon, Middle Georgia. Tonight, Wednesday, September 3rd, Spark Macon will be hosting the 2025 Financial Literacy Business Funding Basics at the Washington Memorial Library. This will take place from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Joe Booz of Wealth ASAP will be leading the session, helping entrepreneurs learn how to access the funding they need to grow their business. So shout out to our brother.
Shout out to Brother Booz.
Yes, always doing good things on the financial literacy tip. So y'all, if y'all can check him out at Washington Memorial, please head there. Tomorrow, September 4th, the Bibb County Young Farmer Program is presenting its first official class, an urban garden workshop. This will also take place from 6 to 7. This will be at the Rosa Jackson Recreation Center. Only 10 participants will be accepted, and each person will get to build and take home their very own urban garden. So that's awesome. That's some good stuff right
That's
there.
real cool.
So if you're able to get to Rosa Jackson tomorrow, be sure to head there. On Friday, families can go to Shirling Library for a reading with Miss Rita Booker. She will be reading at the Shirling Library from 4:30 to 5:30. This will be in celebration of Library Card Sign Up Month, and children can come enjoy a story, sign up for a library card, and receive free school supplies. On Saturday, the Middle Georgia Community Baby Shower will take place at Rosa Jackson Center. This will take place from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This event is dedicated to new and expected parents, connecting families with valuable resources and celebrating new life. If you want to join, please RSVP your name and your phone number to 478-501-8398. And y'all, that is what's happening in Macon.
For sure, for sure. Hey, what's going on in the chat? My brother Head and the Edward James, my people. What's happening? What's happening? Call in with us, man. Check in with us.
Yes.
We need today is the Villages show. It's the Village show every week, but we don't have any future guests. We need any and everybody that's paying attention. If you're on the radio, or if you're live with us on Facebook, YouTube, or any of our platforms, also on WDDO.live on our app, call in 478-250-1444. Today, the accountability question, the accountability check question is happiness a choice? Is happiness a choice? And also, you can just check in and just tell us how you feel. If you're doing anything to help with your mental health, like as far as walking or getting in tune with nature. Okay, that we were talking about, brother Chuck, not too long ago. You were talking about how it is to connect with nature and how helpful that is for our mental health. You had some interesting like facts to share. From a professional standpoint, that I thought was quite interesting. But yeah, T and I, we're always trying every chance we get trying to meditate. She is always out grounding. She'll take her shoes out anywhere with some grass. And she'll start grounding. But and I even saw there was some benefits to that. They were checking like the electrical currents, that go through your body and stuff like that, and how putting your feet to grass, how that is actually like very helpful.
Absolutely.
But yeah, but it's a lot of great things, and I would also like to send out our condolences also to the family. I definitely have to say that to the family who lost their the loved one yesterday, and then we still have a brother that's in critical condition with what happened yesterday with that guy. What a guy tragically shot the lady and the
Family Dollar.
in their Family Dollar and the brother, and that was so sad. And we found out early this morning, that the police actually ran up on him in Spring Street, downtown somewhere over by Rose Hill Cemetery, and say when he died, he got killed in the line of fire, or what have you. But yeah, that's sad. Today we're gonna be talking about some of these different things. Because they say that happened like from a road rage incident.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like how we can make better choices and deal with obstacles or different emotions, all these different things that we are dealing with a whole lot better. So I know mental health is not just about dealing with the trauma per se. A lot of times I know what it is, but a big part is just practicing, having good practices, and having a good approach, and
Right.
having methods to be able to overcome these issues. So yeah, but shout out to our folks that's in the chat. What's up, big? Hey, Stash Gang, what's happening? Big bro LJ, yeah, man, what's happening with you? You big bro right now, man. You tearing it up, man. Shout out to all the artists that be checking in with us, man. We got a lot of talent here in Macon, man, on all genres, all the way across the board. Shout out to Mike Clark. He was out there with you earlier today.
Yes.
Yeah,
Big
Alex
shout
Williams.
out to Mike Clark. He came out with his crew and they helped with the walking school bus to greet the students that were coming in from their long 4-day weekend. So we appreciate you for coming into the community and just to spread love and good vibes. So thank you so much for coming out there.
Yeah, that's a blessing. Anytime our artists, get involved in the community, we a lot of times, our folks get a little bit of love, a little success, and you don't see them no more. You know what I'm saying? And it was just 2 months ago you were here with us. Now you're gone. You know what I mean? But it's a blessing. Mike Clark.
Staying grounded.
Yeah, he's very grounded, and he's taking out. Like he ain't playing. He's definitely putting on for me. He is like literally all over the nation right now. His records and making Georgia, being attached to him as being blasted all over the country right now and the world. So we're proud of him and what he got going on. And his whole team, shout out to Snap Ray, the Guap Records family, Bud Dupree, all of them. So shout out to them. We have one of our sponsors that's also in the chat.
Oh yes, Big Brother Sherm.
Big Sherm. Yeah, he said most definitely choice. He's saying that happiness is a choice. Hey, Sherm, call in with us, Sherm. If you got time, I know you be working a lot. He Assembly Brothers is one of our sponsors here as well. So he's always out doing something, constructing something, blueprinting something. But yeah, if you can call in with us, 478-250-1444. That's also for you too, Mr. Zombie. Make sure you check in with us as well. Zombie Stash Gang. Check in with us, 478-250-1444.
Yes, and then here also says happiness is always a choice, a hard one, but a choice. So we could talk about that too. What makes happiness a difficult choice? And what barriers or what things do we face, in life that kind of adds to the difficulty that makes us feel like sometimes it's difficult for us to choose joy or happiness over some of these other emotions.
What do you think?
To me, what
you just asked?
I think for some people it's just about perspective. Sometimes we go through a whole lot. Like you can be dealing with many things from work to kids to bills to whatever it is, and sometimes it kind of feels like it's just a constant downpour. Like it's always something. Like we don't feel like we ever go over the hill or we ever get a breakthrough. So we're always feeling like we're going through it. And so I feel like in those instances, sometimes it's hard to kind of see the rain through the clouds.
Right.
So I think that we have to find perspective, find like be grateful. I think gratitude is one of the biggest things that help you to see the joy in things, to choose happiness. Because when you're expressing gratitude, despite anything that's going on, whatever a situation may be, if you can find something about that situation that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for this breath. Everybody didn't get this breath. Everybody who woke up this morning won't necessarily go to sleep this evening. So, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be on this side and to still be walking in my purpose, because that means that God isn't finished with me. I still have work to do. So, for me, it's, finding that gratitude in every moment and being present in the moment, not dwelling on things, like making sure we're staying focused on like the here and now. Like, yes, sometimes we have things going on, but what in this moment right now is something that I can be grateful for. So.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I mean, actually, you actually hit me in the heart with it. I remember, when my dad, when he passed away, my dad, he died. He got hit by a car on Great Highway. It was kind of tragic. And him and I had just reconnected. He had just moved to Macon. We weren't really from here.
Right.
You know the story. Yeah. He got hit by a car. He was fighting for his life. And they put like what they call the EKG. They put the machine on. They were trying to resuscitate him and everything. And they did it so much to his, the doctor say that his heart literally was tearing apart. You know what I mean? Like he was trying to stay alive that much, right? So I never forget, when the doctor came to me, afterwards, he let me know they did everything they could do, to try to, revive him or what have you. And he came to me and said, you ought to be glad. He said, in 10 years of it was like Indian doctor. He said, 10 years I've been practicing doing surgery and this and that. Said, I've never seen this before. I've never seen
That much fight.
Yeah, there's somebody fight that much to where they wanted to, where their heart literally tore apart, for trying to stay alive. He said, I come from a strong man, and I should be, just thank God that I came from someone so strong. What have you, right? And when he told me that, I was grateful that he came to me and, just expressed that to me or what have you. But I just never forget like that feeling, although, when you lose somebody like a parent or something, you know what I mean? Like, people instantly think about, you being sad or whatever. I instantly thought about what you said. Like, I was grateful.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I was instantly like, I had this feeling of like gratitude for just having the experience of having him around. Like it's, I didn't even have him around that much for one. We had just reconnected or whatever. So, of course I was looking forward to having more time with him and this and that, you know what I mean? But the fact that I had any time with him and I was grateful, and that gratitude that I had at that very moment, by being present, like you said, it stayed with me,
Right.
and it stuck with me to this day, so I still carry him like in spirit and in all my ways and everything, so, I know just having that experience, helped me to understand what it takes to be grateful, in times where we're having, obstacles and things like that. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's the power in it, though. Being able to receive that, to take that out of that painful experience. You could have just kept ruminating, and that would have just kept compounding negative, and got emotional and broke down your immune system, and just
Everything.
a cascade of negative effects from that. But as a choice, happiness, I think, I don't know. You want me to go in?
No, we got a caller.
Okay, go ahead.
We got a caller. Yeah, so we're gonna.
And then you can go in.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's our caller? What's going on, Tony? Tony, our engineer. Who we got on the line with us, brother?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's going on? Who's this?
The next mayor making. What's going on, Mr. LJ?
Oh, no, you the next mayor making.
Hey.
Yeah, man. What's going on? That's our brother Head right there.
Edward James, y'all, for y'all don't know in the comments.
What's going on, Chuck?
What's happening, brother? So
I can't call me. See how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Ed?
I'm doing
Yeah.
all right. I'm doing all right.
That's good. That's good. So I'm gonna read your comment before you get to speaking, because you said it's difficult because you don't want to let go of people and things in life. So I didn't know if you were calling in to speak to that, or if you just wanted to kind of just speak in general about.
Well, yeah, when you want to be happy, sometimes coming with happiness, you have to let go of people you're familiar with, whether it be family, friends, associates, and those are things that we all have lived with our entire life. So it's hard to let go of what you know to grasp something that you have yet to obtain. So it'd be hard for people to let go of that because they'll stick with their family and friends through the most disturbing times and won't want to let go for themselves and be happy.
Right, right. I think that's good, and I think part of that too, that people need to understand. A lot of times, it's not just you just letting go of somebody because I've been around this person so long. Is I put in time and effort and tried to either remediate or heal a relationship, and that same effort wasn't being put in. And you do have to find okay, what is my boundary, like what am I willing to accept, and how is this affecting me either positively or negatively.
Right.
And at what point, if it's negative and I'm trying to find like a line for us to get past where okay, we can still be in communication with each other, when does that stop? And I think a lot of times, I can just speak for myself personally, it's difficult when you have to let go of people who, you either grew up with, family, friends, and things like that, because you tried to put in an effort and it wasn't reciprocated, or you've done so much and you don't see any forward progress in it.
Yeah, that's most definitely true. Then a lot of people don't know what happiness is. They think happiness is someone else when happiness is self.
Mm.
That's right.
Right. Right. Let me ask you a question, bro. Like, 'cause, we know you overcame, some stuff that most people haven't, or a lot of people haven't even met people that overcame what you overcame. I remember coming up with you when we were younger. You were just on the Hear the Hood show with us. You shout out to your team with
Oh,
Hear the Hood.
yeah.
But
The
just you
cabinet and Belvin.
Oh,
for sure,
yes.
for sure. But yeah, but you being a childhood friend of mine, then you end up leaving. You end up having to go, in the street. We say, go to college, but no, it's not the real college. That's just a way of not saying what happened to somebody. But you were locked up. You ended up having to go to prison for how many years did you have to go to prison for,
Oh,
brother?
I did 25 years.
Hmm.
25 years, man. That's a long, and you still look 25 for one. I'm gonna tell you that. But
Mhm.
what was it? How was it for you to overcome that, man? Like as far as like mentally, how were you able to keep yourself focused? Being locked up for 25 years.
Well, honestly, man, you know, I guess you could say it was where I came from that enabled me to be able to survive, and the memories and the people that supported me while I was gone. A lot of people that don't have support groups, they don't have nobody to come see them, they don't have nobody to talk to, nobody to write, nobody that keeps in touch or anything like that. And some people ain't even live. A lot of people ain't even never left their city, their streets, or nothing. So to be somebody that was in there and that had lived and see so many people that had never really got the chance to experience life, it kind of puts you at a mind space where you know that you endure stuff that some people ain't even seen. Some of those guys been there since they were 16, they 15, 16 now. So,
Hmm.
you know, from a mental aspect, it's just the strength of what was instilled in me from the people I came up around, be it you and your mama, my grandmama, my aunties, uncles, my mama, my dad, the things they instilled in me and strengthened me to be able to make it like that.
That's right. That's powerful.
It is, bro.
Yeah.
And
The
so,
support system
it's like
real.
it's like okay, so like I said, you have people now who have never did anything in life, like never been nowhere, but like I said, they were kids, so they ain't seen nothing. So they growing up in an environment that is making it where they're having to accept what they're seeing, where they are. Me being that I had lived, cause Macon had kind of toughened my skin up a little bit, but being I had lived and experienced, it's like I had been educated before I got there to accept what was going on and try to find knowing that I was gonna get up out of there one day. So, you know, you had a lot of people had wrote me off like I wasn't gonna never get out. So, with me I had 100 years, so it's kind of like that's the biggest battle I think I had was people giving up on me. Like you're never gonna get out, you're never gonna come home, you're never gonna be here. But me knowing I'm gonna be there, that was probably my biggest battle.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. You here, brother? And we know you do a lot.
We
You
grateful
That's
for
right.
you. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing amazing things. You're doing amazing things, speaking to the youth, and I think that's one of the most powerful things that can be done because these children are especially children in our community. They need people like you who have a story, who can tell the story like that, and then come out and say, despite all of that, I'm still here and I'm still moving in a positive direction, in a positive light. So, you know, I'm
I think the toughest part about helping the youth is the fact that there's no unity or togetherness in making like it used to be. Like you have all these nonprofits, you have all these churches, you have all these people that say they're doing stuff for the community, but none of them folks work together. You know, them
Mhm.
people it sound good and everything they say and sound wonderful when they present it, but if you look at the factual basis of the situation, like Ed, I'm looking at the facts, the data. None of them folks never do anything together. Everybody want to do their own thing. It's like they're the only one that's doing something to help the community. Period. They never want to come together. It's like when it comes to the money, everybody thinking there's some money in the pot, so they want to get the money and use the money for what they want to use the money for instead of using the money to help each other and help each other help the community. It don't go like that.
right.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Yeah, and there's a lot of components to that. What you think about that, Chuck?
First, I just want to give Head a shout out because he don't work with me, and when he speak to kids, they locked in.
Yeah.
And that's another component too. Kids like they can tell if you genuine. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They can tell if you out here just drifting or you just got a check and you just trying to showboat for social media or whatever the case may be. Them
Right.
kids they sensing you. They can really see, okay, they ain't finna listen to you. They gonna joke, they gonna crack, they gonna disrespect you, they gonna, all that.
Oh yeah.
And like, like I say, I like to commend Head, man. This man come, we ain't got no budget. This man gonna come with donuts, out his own pocket and, take off from work, you know what I'm saying? And really put it in for them kids, man. And to this day, right now, when we was at Memorial Park, Recreation Center, the director want him to come back. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, I commend you, brother, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You're a blessing. You're a vessel of God working, and never take what you're doing in vain, bro. Like you really connecting and you really making a difference in them kids' life. You know what I mean?
Moving in
Well,
purpose.
y'all kind of motivate me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep me motivated and grinding, man. If I have issues, I call y'all.
Yeah.
That's
We appreciate
the
you,
truth,
bro.
though.
For real.
Iron sharpening iron all
Yeah.
the time. So
That's right, brother.
we appreciate you, Head. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, we look forward to you coming back on too. We got another show. We were talking about a lot of the violence, violence and how we interrupt violence and deal with like the issues we're dealing with violence in the
I'm
community.
most definitely getting ready for that, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all do, man. Say it takes a village for real. More than one person in the village, man. Y'all sure growing it real good.
Thank you.
All
We
right.
appreciate you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right
Yeah.
then, bro.
All right, much love.
Blessings.
Yeah, we got some folks in the chat too. We had my brother Chris Barfield.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Our brother Chris.
Hey, Chris Barfield don't be playing. If y'all ain't seen his post,
if you ain't
hey.
checked him out on Facebook,
hey, you better check him out. Hey, if you're an elected official, you better have it together. Chris Barfield, he is checking the records and the order. You best to be in order. But he says, "Hello, everyone." I missed it. He says, "Hello, everyone. I am taking a break from talking about City Hall to see what the village is up to."
Keep going.
I'll tell you.
take a short break.
He says, "Spend time helping others find happiness, and you won't need to chase it as a choice. Happiness will come looking for you." My boy, Big Zombie Sash said, I'll never leave my city. Wherever I go, make and go. We already know that, brother. Stash gang. Yeah. Head said it's difficult because you don't want to let go of people and things in life. Oh, Commissioner Lucas, Miss Lucas, our Water Board District 1 representative.
Right.
And also Asky Lane show host says good show. You had a great show today too. I checked you out a little bit too. She was talking about what's happening on Hall Road, with planning and zoning. And then they also have the water board meeting tomorrow at 4:00. Make sure that we are present. We need to make sure we're present for these board meetings. She always constantly telling us we need to show up, and she's serious. We saying the same thing. And we show up. So definitely make sure y'all go to these commission meetings, the City Hall. Make sure you're at the Water Authority board meetings, these planning and zone meetings, the Transit Authority meetings. Any meeting that's affecting your life and your pocket, and your environment. Make sure you're there. So shout out to you, Ms. Lucas, and she comes on every Wednesday as well at 3 o'clock, 3:30. But yeah, every Wednesday. So we action packed over here on the Glory.
Oh yeah.
Zakia, your village sister.
Our village sister.
Our village sister says true investing. I said true investing in people makes it hard to just let them go, especially when the love is deep. That's right. That's right. She says some other stuff. Oh man, that's good, but God. Right.
Oh yeah, she was very enthralled in the conversation with Brother Head just then. Thank you, sis.
Most definitely. Our other village sister was Kia Booze, Joe Boo's wife, my brother Booze, his wife, and he is her husband. But say, hey y'all, I tried to call in, but that had her on hold. I have to get to my husband's event. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for me, happiness is more of a practice than a one-time choice. It's about creating a space for you to be happy. I don't think happiness is always just a choice because life circumstances and certain traumas and barriers play a big role in how people experience it. For someone who has faced pain or struggles, it's not realistic to just choose happiness and ignore everything else. At the same time, I do believe we have the power to work toward happiness by shifting our mindset and making intentional decisions about how we respond to what we go through. That's real. I love her response. And brother Big Sherm says, I find happiness in making people happy. That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's good stuff.
All right, so right now, brother Chuck, now time for us to talk about this happiness is a choice thing too. And we still look for callers. Don't y'all? We still need y'all to call in 478-250-1444. Right.
Leave us comments in the chat. All of the things.
So per our conversation earlier today, bro, because I want to chime in with you a little bit too. But how do you feel about happiness being a choice? Is happiness a choice, brother? So what do you think about that?
Man, it's kind of like we're really supposed to be happy by default. So that's just like your heartbeat. You don't decide when your heartbeat. It's just gonna be. That's your natural biological function. Our brain is wired to be in a peaceful, content, state, and being peaceful and content. That I can equate that to being happy.
Right.
When I got peace and I'm content, I'm happy. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, and then you look at things. Your neuropeptides. Those are chemicals that transmit messages to make sure that you're in an optimal state. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, as we talk about, you look at depression. To me, the choice is not being happy. You see what I'm saying? But you got to look at, just like Sister Kia said, you got to look at the environmental factors.
Right.
Which makes it hard for you to be content and peaceful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But just like you stated earlier about your tragedy about your father.
Right.
That's you lost a parent. You feel me?
Right.
So, but at the same time, you found the way and the means to become content, at peace with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of you going the opposite direction.
Right.
You know, look at Brother Head. Man, it's 25 years.
Right.
That's what I look at.
But he can speak on it from a perspective of he was at peace and he was content.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though it's probably things he had to go through, but he had to resort back to that. So that's kind of like our baseline mode is to be peaceful and content. And as I said before, the Most High God blessed us with a brain to be in a peaceful, content mode, supposedly at all times. You know what I'm saying? Think about your sympathetic and your parasympathetic nervous system. You see, your sympathetic nervous system, that's when you fight or flight, the cortisol. That can lead to unhappiness because you're not at peace. You're anxious, you got anxiety, you know what I'm saying? You're unsettled. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But then when you just relax, so to speak, just kind of let things go, your biological, neurological functions is going to kick into the parasympathetic.
That's right.
Now you're going to start releasing hormones and neuropeptides, and your brain going to start working to make you feel at peace and at ease. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, like we spoke on before earlier about being in nature, okay? The environment can make you decide to be not happy. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. That's the choice. your
Right.
environment, right? But what type of environment? You know what I mean? Is it a conducive environment for your optimal living? Is it equality? Is it justice? What kind of environment are you in?
Right.
You know what I mean? I know y'all speak a lot about environmental justice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that can dysregulate your biological and neurological system to make
Absolutely.
you unpeaceful, unhappy. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now it's up to your prefrontal cortex to make the decision. That's your decision making factor. Now, are you going to accept these negative, you know what I'm saying, factors, external factors?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
if you accept them, now your prefrontal cortex is gonna correlate with your amygdala. Your amygdala is your emotional state.
Right.
Then come in with your hormones are gonna get, now you back into that sympathetic system of fight or flight, because
Right.
your body's saying something ain't right. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So it's like our natural state is to be happy. You know what I'm saying? I put quotation, air quotes around that, but it's really peace and content.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. Right.
Absolutely.
And then when you get into a natural setting, you know, like say the Indian Mounds, that's one of the most beautiful places, you know, we have right here in Macon, Georgia, and can heal a lot of people if we know how to utilize it.
Right.
You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
The Indian Mounds, Emerson Park, with the Okmulgee River, you know what I'm saying? And it's like when you get in those states of natural nature environments, it kind of resets you from that dysregulation that you've been in with this hustle and bustle and systemic racism and all the other things that get bombarded upon people of African descent.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you look in the history. You got the Gullah Geechee people, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a practice of called seeking during them times. Now, what they were going through ain't nothing. Well, I ain't gonna say it ain't nothing, but it's the same. We're going through the same type of things. It's just ours is more covert. Theirs was overt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they ain't gonna outright call you out your name here unless they get a little bold or whatever.
Oh, they
Oh,
doing it. They doing it now.
But they know when to do it though. You feel me? They
Oh,
ain't
yeah.
gonna just, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna just, they know when to do it. But back then, you know, somebody grab you, kill you, whatever the case may be.
Right.
So imagine how that had an effect on the people. So they had a practice called seeking, where they went into the woods. And you could be 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. You could be a little child. But if you're going through something emotionally, you will go in the woods from either days to weeks to months at a time. And you just out there with nature. I'm talking about ain't nobody bringing you no food, no nothing. You know what I mean? And then you come back like ready. Let's do it. Let's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like in the Bible when they say Jesus went in the wilderness, right?
Absolutely.
Come on, man.
Absolutely. And you know what's
You know?
funny too, because a lot of stuff when you see, especially like European stories about people going in the woods, it's usually like, nah, them people done went in the
Savages.
woods and then turned crazy
Yeah.
or done lost touch. But our people use nature as a way to reconnect with themselves, to reconnect with the creator. So I think that's very important. And then what you've been speaking of kind of brings me to a definition. I don't know if LJ, you want to read it, but we were talking about acculturation stress. And it's a psychological, emotional, and physical strain that individuals experience when adapting to a new or dominant culture while trying to maintain their own cultural identity. So it says that it can occur when people, especially immigrants, minorities, or marginalized groups face challenges such as language barriers, which is one of the things you were talking about, the importance of language,
Right.
discrimination or racism, loss of cultural traditions or support systems, pressure to conform to the values, norms, or expectations of the dominant culture, and conflict between generations. So that's children adapting faster than parents. This stress can manifest as anxiety, depression, identity confusion, and physical health problems. For African Americans, acculturation stress is often compounded with systemic racism, generational trauma, and navigating dual cultural realities, such as living with African or Black American heritage and traditions while adapting to the mainstream American norm. So that's kind of like talking about all of the things really that you've been saying, like you dealing with so much. The environment that we're in is kind of causing us to move away from who we truly are at essence, like that, what puts us in that natural state of peace and contentment, joy, happiness. We're this society kind of makes sure we move away from it. When you talk about the hustle and bustle of work, working 9 to 5, having to work 2, 3 jobs for ends to meet, you know, all
Right.
of these things that are not supposed to stress us, but our everyday lives are stressors. So like, how do we as people, not necessarily just African American people, but people who deal with this acculturation and stress. How do we deal with that in a way that makes sense for us and keeps us connected to who we are, in essence?
Yeah, yeah. I heard some. I be with Brother Tuck on this a lot too. I just studied so much, and shout out to this book that we have, the Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental
Put
Health.
it up for the people.
Oh yeah, if y'all can't see it, we got it up here. Chuck got one over there too.
Mhm.
Yeah, he actually the
On
one
the
who
same
told us,
wavelength.
who put me on that book. It's an amazing book. But there are a lot of different scholars and teachers, especially when you're dealing with a lot of the Aboriginal or African-centered teachings and things of that nature. Even when you understand like the essence of what we learn, even through spiritual practices, and some of the most profound things I've ever heard in my life is understanding like how to overcome obstacles or these challenges
Right.
comes from knowing that we are spirits with a body and not bodies with a spirit.
Absolutely.
And there's so many different layers to that. Like when you understand that your true power is inside out and not outside in. So even when we talk about or whether or not happiness is a choice, when we look at the things that happen to us as being a part of a purpose or a greater purpose, or us finding gratitude in situations because we see how all things are working together for a divine purpose.
Absolutely.
That changes the whole perspective on everything. And then also realizing, like even Brother Chuck was saying in regards to our body and how our body is made up to respond and understanding that real happiness really is not necessarily what happens to you bad or good. You know what I mean? Like if you have to be dependent on something good happening to you, or if you are quick to anything that's bad happening to you, that's the trigger for whatever, you respond to whatever, then that means any of these external factors got power over you.
Absolutely.
So soon as, if you're happy about because you got a new car or you got this money, as soon as you lose that money or you wreck that car,
right, then it's over.
It's over with. You know what I mean? Like I'm upset now.
Happiness gone.
It's gone.
It's all gone.
And it's the same way too when people say you ruined my day. How did you allow somebody to ruin your day? Like how did you allow what they said to have that much weight and power where it shifted your whole mood to the point where now you can't even enjoy it. So it's the same thing.
Right. And that whole aspect of something outside of you having power over you, that is what we weren't built for that. Like when you talked about, I heard the term called homeostasis, like, and that's our natural state of being, like where we are content and we're at peace. Like, and inside of us, that's peace. And I heard when you said that, like, so true happiness is being able to be content or be at peace despite any and everything that you're dealing with. I mean, you got a lot of situations like that. Like you see in the Bible, you see when folks get into Quran, all these, any other religion, what was the story we saw? Was it when who was it that was in the Bible? I don't know why I think about this. They were on the boat. They was on the boat and it was storming and everybody else was going crazy.
It was Peter.
Right. But he was at peace, on the boat. He was still, and you have a lot
of storm.
Yeah, throughout the storm, and just being like that in the middle of that storm, in the middle of that hurricane, you got all this chaos and all these wind, all this, but in the middle is at peace, and it's us. We centered in the same way, So me personally, I do feel that happiness is a choice because I've been through situations and I had every ability to take, to be unhappy, be upset, or let this external force or whatever this is drive me and how I felt. Now, I will say this, real is real. And I know emotions are real and emotions are like signals, and they help you because I know with this divine purpose, we have these feelings that a lot of times they're meant for us to direct these feelings in their proper place. Like it signals to us because, and when you talk that you got this divine purpose, you're able now to tap into these feelings and move them rather than them moving you.
Right.
Absolutely.
But you said we got a caller.
We got a caller on the line. Hey, caller, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in and joining us on Village Talks.
Hey, how you doing?
My sister. Hey, what's going on?
Yes.
Who your sister? Who is that?
This is Ikea. This is Ikea Muhammad.
You got to say her name.
Look, I'm sorry. Let me give her a proper introduction. Y'all, this is Ikea Muhammad. She is our village sister and always in the midst of the comments and in the midst of the conversation. So thank you so much for calling in.
Period. So I just kind of wanted to call in real quick. I kind of wanted to call in real quick, just kind of touch on some of the things. So I heard what Brother LJ said about how he feels that happiness is a choice or whatnot like that. And then I thought about it because I said that it's probably not, but it's something you work towards. But I'm just thinking about it. I feel like it could be both. It could be a choice, and then sometimes, like Brother Chuck was saying, based on our environment, that plays the biggest thing. But I just feel like because it's Suicide Awareness Month and because so much trauma is happening right now, I feel like when it comes to happiness, I feel like what we put into it and what we put into people's lives, that brings happiness. So I feel like if we can't even be happy ourselves, why can't we just put towards building somebody up and putting towards their happiness, you know? And I feel like if people care more about other people, we could change some of the things that's going on in people's head and what's going on with them mentally. I've been seeing lately, I'm not sure if you guys have been paying attention, a lot of people are making posts on social media, and it's like these last little words like, oh, I'm gone, this is my last message, and people are really killing themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And you have people in the comments, and they're just like, they're non-compassionate. Oh, I'm just tired. People who commit suicide, they're so selfish. And me and Tia, we took a QPR class for suicide awareness. And what we understood is, like, with suicide, some people just feel like that's just their choice. They have no other choice. They feel like they've made it to their last resort. And it's just like, okay, this is what it is. I feel like if we could bring some type of happiness into people's lives, we could contribute to helping everybody, fulfill that level of some type of happiness, because it's a mindset. I also noticed that the most delusional people are the most happiest people. Like, you is really going through a whole lot, but in your delusional mind, life is great. And I feel like it's just a mindset. It's really a mindset of knowing that, at the end of the day, my life is going crazy, but I'm going to find some type of happiness in it. And I feel like if I can put towards somebody's happiness and help them, and just, talk to them, be there for them, we could help promote a level of happiness. Happiness is what you can put towards. People are so selfish. What can you put towards everybody else? I feel like that's happiness, when you can be something for somebody else. But I don't know. But thank y'all for letting me call in.
That's good.
That's beautiful.
Mother Muhammad. That's good.
Sister Muhammad.
I got a mother because she
Mother Muhammad.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah, she was definitely mother.
She gonna bring them kids out
every time.
Yeah, but I like what she said too about seeing happiness in other people, and wanting to do that. But we have a world that's so individualistic,
Right. Lacks empathy. It's a lack of empathy in our society.
Right, and that's why I was saying that too about the whole understanding we spirits, with the body rhythm, body with the spirit, because then you can look at how we're connected in a lot of the things that you can't see, or something that's greater than just our physical bodies and things like that. So. I understand our connection. So your happiness is a part of my happiness. So
Absolutely.
It's not like, it's a selfish thing. I got to have, or we got to be, materialistic or coveting stuff.
You even got to be people. That's why when you get out in nature, the birds gonna talk to you. The
trees gonna talk to you. The water.
And then the trees, the trees let off essential oils called phytoncides.
Right.
Phytoncides repel fungi, insects, just whatever trying to attack the tree. Even like it's like a sunscreen, trees out in the sun, so it keeps them healthy, right?
Right.
When we breathe in this phytoncide, it lowers cortisol, and also it helps accentuate or activate our NK cells. NK cells are called natural killer. These immune cells are like the number one fighting cells. Those are the cells that fight and keep cancer at bay.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then, they know this in Asia. You know what I'm saying? They know this, especially Japan. In Japan, it's called Shirin Yoko, forest bathing.
Right.
You can have surgery. These folk gonna make you go out into these woods and walk, because it's gonna help your immune system, help you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or even people who have cancer patients, go out and walk a certain amount of hours a day, not once a week, a day. You know what I'm saying? And they've been practicing this for ages. You know what I mean? And they have some of the lowest depression, anxiety, cancer. Their health is, top notch. You feel
right.
Because they understand it's in at the same time, the medical field is not a monopoly over there.
Right.
You know what I mean? They ain't trying to keep everybody sick. You see,
And
but,
there's a holistic approach over there.
right, yeah.
Right.
And it's like you said, though, we got to understand the spirit. The nature, that's just another aspect of the spirit.
Of the spirit.
You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then we go into nature, Neteru, and what word nature come from, which means God. You know what I mean? So
Right,
it's
right.
like, and it's funny that Sister Zakia also stated how some people who are disillusional are the most happiest. Okay, they not in touch with reality.
Right.
They inside. Everything is inside for them. They don't care what's going on out in the world. You feel me? So they can be happy because they're not affected by the external
The
factors.
external factors.
That's
Right.
having that internal locus of control, y'all.
Yeah.
The happiness and everything coming from within and not coming externally. So that's
Right.
really what we're talking about. And one other thing, LJ pointed to, and kind of sum up all of that, is another African term is the South African philosophy of Ubuntu. I am because we are, and understanding that yes, we are spirit, but we are all connected to one source. And so when we
Absolutely.
understand that, what I do and how I am and how I interact and engage with you is going to affect everybody that I come in contact with, then we should be able to make more intentional and conscious decisions about how we interact with each other. There should be a level of kindness and empathy and compassion that we're using when we're dealing with other people. And that's one of the things, that people say, you don't know what anybody else is going through. So we have to always be considerate of that, because sometimes that one interaction could be what changes somebody from deciding that I no longer want to be here. My only choice is suicide. So
Right.
that's one of the things I wanted to talk about real quick. We have a caller on the line, Mr. Danny Glover. We want to get you in real quick before the end of the show. Danny, how you doing?
I'm doing good, sis. How y'all doing over there?
Blessed.
Hey, what's up, Danny G? Appreciate you for calling in, brother. What's going
What
on?
up, Charles?
What's happening, brother? How you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Yeah. What do you think about the conversation we're having right now? Are you
And
listening?
I actually tapped in on the end of it with Sister Muhammad going in of it, so I caught little glimpses of it. What it was about happiness and finding your sense of happiness. Charles is connected into nature and what happens, when you go out and and all that good stuff. So I only caught the tail end of it.
Yeah. Well, it's based on our accountability check question today, which is happiness a choice?
Oh, yep, I got you. I can touch on it.
So-
Go ahead. Give us what you got. 2 minutes or less.
Oh, y'all ready for me now?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh man, I thought y'all was prepping me up, man. But happiness is definitely a choice or whatever. I mean, just speaking from my personal kind of experiences, and especially being in this organizing kind of political space, I have to find ways to make myself happy or find happiness within what I'm doing, because dealing with the poverty that our people are facing with, dealing with issues like at the fish fry on Friday, this young lady I went to high school came up to me and said her lights was cut out. And so knowing that I'm one of her sources of information for trying to solve that issue, when I get home at the end of the day, finding my center of peace and finding my happiness is paramount to my success and being able to do the work I do each day. And so honestly, what I do is, I take some time and take some solitude to myself to process everything. I like to fish. I like to kayak. I like to do things like Brother Charles said, outdoor in nature, even if it's just walking and, down the street or through a park, just to, reconnect back with nature. And then the thing is, I always have to remind myself of, I can't get caught up, or you can't get caught up in the individual circumstances that you're going through each day. Tomorrow is another day. The sun will go down and it will rise again tomorrow. And the people you love, the people you care about, your families, they're expecting you to show up. So finding that place of happiness, finding, those things that can get you back to that place of happiness for me personally, is of paramount importance for the work I'm doing. So great question.
Thank you for
Appreciate
that insight. And that's good, because finding ways to deal with everything, to recenter yourself, it's important. Like, you have to have some type of self-care ritual, tradition, something that you're doing to get you back to a space where you can engage, because some of the things that we're dealing with in our community can definitely be draining. Like, we have a lot of historical issues, current issues, the situation that we just had at the Family Dollar, things like that. Like, it's to the point where we're almost desensitized and normalized to situations that aren't normal. So we definitely have to make sure that we are pouring into ourselves and each other as much as we can.
That's right, right. And appreciate you too, Danny D, Danny G, for making sure that we working on having a new normal.
Yes.
And we're working on changing our environment, which does affect us in a lot of different ways. And how apt we are to be able to respond, properly, to situations because it's hard, with a lot of different trauma and situations, things that we're dealing with. So having brothers like you, the front line, working in politics, working in community organizing, is very important. We appreciate what you're doing and shout out to you for that fish fry, that one big fish fry. You did your thing. We're proud of you.
Event.
Yeah, and what you're doing. And happy birthday to you. Happy late birthday to you too, brother.
Oh yeah, happy belated birthday. And then real quick, y'all, I just want to say, because Sister Zakia Muhammad did bring up Suicide Awareness Month. This book, the Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. This is an amazing book. She touches on suicide from us being the point of contact or us being someone who is dealing with suicide to also, us actually having people in our community that might be dealing with suicide and how we can actually engage with them in an effective way. So if you haven't seen the book or don't know about the book, the Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health by Dr. Rita Walker is phenomenal. So make sure you check that out. Also, if you are thinking about suicide, Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is 988. It is 24/7. So make sure that you dial that number if you don't feel like you have someone trusted that you can talk to.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and that's my final thought on that too. Yeah, if it's if you need some help, reach out. 988 is a good number you can call. Shout out to all our people that are working, all our mental health professionals. We've got folks like River Edge is doing what they're doing at their facility. That's helping our folks. So
Resilient Middle Georgia.
Yeah, resilient. Yeah. So shout out to everyone that's working in that space, especially you, brother Chuck. You're doing a lot. We appreciate you for what you're doing and what you provide for this platform. And what are your final thoughts for Suicide Awareness Month and what's happening with our folks?
Pretty much kind of the same thing what Sister Tia said and Sister Zakia about how how people can pretty much don't shun nobody. If they speaking on suicide, really take that to heart. Don't pass judgment. Get your ego out and then try to find them some help. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some shape, form, or fashion. Don't just brush it off.
Right.
Because a lot of times, people may say things, not really. They might not give you the full detail, but they're gonna let you know that they're going through something. Don't just brush that off because really deep down, it's probably something way stronger.
Most definitely. Yeah. And if you see somebody about to crash out or doing something or whatever, don't put yourself in harm's way either. You know what I'm saying? Understand. That people are going through a lot right now. Like we need to be very mindful of that. So don't put yourself in situations that you could avoid. Avoid putting yourself in the wrong environment because a lot of times we can create a good space or create good environments for our mental health. Right. So I appreciate this whole conversation. Everybody that called in, y'all. We had some good callers.
We did. And I want to just share what Sister Zakia said. Call someone you haven't spoke to in a minute and check on your strong friends. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's everybody mission right now. So if you can call somebody that you ain't talked to in a minute, check on them, see how they doing. That's what we saying. We hope even if it's just one person, you listening right now, somebody who you care about, you ain't talked to them, check on them. If you feel something is wrong, something in your spirit about somebody, check on them, pray with them, talk to them, encourage them, go visit them, whatever it is. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to find somebody too.
Oh, yeah, I'm calling somebody after the show.
That's right. So we appreciate y'all. Shout out to our engineer, Tony. Shout out to the apostle and the bishop. Make sure y'all check in here every single morning on Drive Time Morning Show. If y'all ain't heard the morning show, will get you right.
Yes.
If you
ain't heard the morning show, it's going to bring you some joy.
I'm telling you. So, but yeah, shout out to this Black-owned radio station giving us this opportunity. The Glory 107.9 FM, 980 AM, WDDO. Go back and check out all of our old shows on YouTube, Facebook. All of them are archived. You can check out this one. Share it with your friends. Let people know we are Village Talks. We'll see y'all again next Wednesday.
Peace and blessing, good people.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new